Representative Dean, thank you for being here with me today. Now, you've introduced a bill that would change the name of a road in Gregg County to Bill Stoudt Parkway. Your inspiration for the bill?
Well, years ago, Judge Stoudt, I was the mayor. Judge Stoudt, of course, the county judge, Gregg County, worked together on a number of projects up in that Spring Hill area. We put in the North City new industrial park and needed to, as we started recruiting major distribution people like Gap, et cetera, Dollar General store. Prior to that, we knew we needed to expand George Ritchie in order to handle the traffic, et cetera. So Judge Stoudt was very good to work with on that. He had a lot to do with bringing TxDOT into partner not only with the county, but also, again, as mayor of the city of Longview and bringing in our Longview Economic Development Corporation. We were able to fast track that project, and you can look out there now and see the results. We've opened up some beautiful property in that area for development, and he deserves a lot of the credit, and we wanted to just recognize him by placing his name on the entire stretch of it's actually 2275 FM 2275. That entire stretch that encompasses Gregg County.
And what do you feel this means to the community?
Oh, I think community is very supportive of it. It just, like I said, Judge has done a lot of great things for the citizens of Gregg County over his last 22, 23, however many years he's been there. He's been a great steward for the taxpayers' dollars and invested wisely, just like we did together when we did the George Ritchie expansion.
So you're working on this bill now. What does the timeline look like for this bill?
Oh, it's pretty much already in the works. It doesn't take that long. I've done this before. We've named other sections of highways after some veterans, et cetera. So this is pretty much the same process and procedure. And I suppose this is probably going to go through our local and consent calendars. So it'll be fast tracked. So we look forward to, sometime late spring into the summertime, the signs will be changed and the new signs will be put up.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Gregg County has already approved, during Commissioner's Court, they already approved their portion of the road, and then the Longview City Council, I believe, approved their portion of the road. So now it just needs to be finalized by the legislature, it sounds.
The process through TxDOT, who actually owns FM 2275, for them to change the name of that section of the road, it has to be a legislative action, which is what we're doing. I'm carrying it in the House, and Senator Hughes is carrying it in the Senate.
And you mentioned you've renamed some highways in the past. What does that procedure look like? What exactly changes for the residents, for the citizens, for those who drive on that road?
Well, a lot of times it's more of a recommendation. I know there was some concerns about changing FM 2275 or George Ritchie inside the city limits to Bill Stoudt Parkway. There were people, well, we got to change our addresses and do some other things. But I think by having the city and the county and the state all on the same page when it comes to the renaming, that should make it a lot easier for the residents that actually live there that would have to go through changing their address or something. I think that's all been worked through.
But yeah, so residents will need to change addresses, signs will be changed. Is that pretty much the gist of it?
I'm not even sure that they've got to change their address, because as I understand in talking to TxDOT, they will always recognize it as FM 2275. So no matter what the city and the county does, from the state perspective, that entire stretch of Farm to Market Road will always be FM 2275 to them. So they don't really care that, about the address changes. And I think most people are probably on FM 2275 with the address as well. But we haven't found that to be a big issue at all.
And how much do you anticipate this costing?
To switch the signs?
just for the whole procedure until, it's finalized, everything's done.
There's really no cost. I mean, my time, which I've already getting paid $600 a month for, so that's all good. No, it's not. It doesn't have a fiscal impact.